Hey, Maurice and Odie gonna take over like Zach and Cody. Black and Snurdy is the best podcast. Gonna boom like Wile E. Coyote. Gonna meet magic, they move like they hairy. Ain't talking about mental health, no, it's not scary. You know that she coming up with the astrology. Mo got a comic and that's the best policy. Maurice the GOAT, talking about animation cause you know. Odie, she moving wavy like the boat. Watching some movies and she taking notes. Yeah, kick back, listen. Black and Snurdy have risen. Upload on a mission. 5 stars, never dissing. Black and Snurdy, ooh. Black and Snurdy, yeah. Black and Snurdy.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Black and Sturdy Podcast, the only podcast where two sexy black nerds get together to shoot the shit. I am Mo, aka Kid Licorish.
And I'm Odie.
And together we are the aforementioned Snurds here on episode 135 of the Black and Sturdy Podcast. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. No complaints so far.
How's your week been?
The week has been long. It has been a long week, but it ended on a pretty bright note, I would say.
Okay.
We celebrated Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
By the time that this goes out, it will have been Valentine's weekend.
14th. I love that song.
Yeah,
That's
me too.
One of my favorite Andre. That album is one of my favorite albums.
That's The Love Below, right?
The Love Below, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's one of my favorite Andre 3000 songs. It's Happy Valentine's Day and Prototype might be one of like my top songs on the album. But the whole thing was amazing. So
yeah, Prototype is a really good song. I hope that you're the one. If not, you are the prototype. We'll tiptoe to the sun and do things I know you like. I think I'm in love again. And the guitar in that is so dope. Yeah,
it's a great song.
Yeah,
great album.
I miss singing on this podcast. We should bring that back.
Me too.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about, well, how was your Valentine's Day?
My Valentine's Day was pretty good. Okay. It was mostly great. There was one sticking point, and then I'm going to say it, and then I'm going to get off of it. Mm-hmm. We went to this really nice Italian restaurant.
It was very nice.
You don't mind saying the name of it, right?
No, it was called El Beco in the Theater District.
It was just Beco, not El Beco.
Oh, well, Beco in the Theater District.
Yeah, and the food was great. It has like a $40 unlimited pasta. You get 3 chef pasta.
Yeah, they make 3
specials.
pastas throughout the night, and they give that out if you want this unlimited pastas. We had it was a beet ravioli. It was linguine with clams and a regular tagliatelle in tomato sauce.
Yes. And you opted for the unlimited pasta. I opted for the ribeye steak.
It was a good steak.
It was a fucking great steak. It was an amazing steak. Okay? So
it was big too.
It was a huge steak. I could not finish all of it. Like, I couldn't even finish like 2/3 of it. But I ate some of it. It was delicious. I asked to pack it up and put it in a box and put it in a bag, right? Mm-hmm. We're leaving. We get maybe 4 minutes away from the restaurant before we realize, oh, snap, we didn't bring the food, right?
Yeah.
So we go back in there, ask, hey, I go back to where I was sitting. There's nothing there. So I asked the I was about to say restaurateur, the maitre d' if he has seen the bag that was sitting right there. And of course they're looking dumbfounded like usually we just throw out food and stuff like that, blah blah blah, but if you want we can get you more of the pasta, give you take home pasta. And I'm like, bitch, I don't want no pasta, I want my fucking steak.
I'm trying to think.
I was
okay,
looking forward to that steak, like to have some of that today.
8 minutes. It's like we left and came back. Now I understand they were getting closer towards closing and all that, but I'm like, if somebody left, it was a clearly packaged up food in a bag from the restaurant. You would think they'd be like, oh, these people just left, so maybe they're gonna remember and come back, versus throwing it out. Like now, if it had been 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. But I really feel like someone's eating that steak.
Yeah, I think somebody decided to eat the fucking steak too. Like,
take it home for their dog. I
God
don't know.
damn it! And you know what? If I had known that that's what was gonna happen, I would have licked all over the fucking steak so that they could get my goddamn germs.
Not licking all over the steak.
Yeah, look, just take my big ass tongue, and lick all over that fucking steak. Just lick that steak. Lick that steak. That's gonna be the name of the episode. And of course,
right.
I don't have my.
Text it to yourself. Or text it to me.
Yeah, I'll text it.
Yes. So, well, Friday, and then after dinner, what happened? We went to meet up with one of our friends for their birthday. We had some birthday drinks. In Brooklyn.
Shout out to your birthday, Keith.
Happy birthday, Keith. That was very fun.
That was fun.
We went to what was the first place?
That bar.
We went to that bar. Then when they closed, we went to Uncle Barry's, played some darts, which was fun. Mm-hmm. And Keith kept getting freaking what is it called?
Bullseye.
Bullseye.
Yeah, no, he's a freak. He's a freak of nature.
I don't understand how that even happened.
It's almost as if he was a ringer. Like he knew that he was gonna win. Just like it's like a magnet.
But that was fun. And then Saturday, we went to go get ramen at Momor Ramen, which was really good, and ate all the food and brought home the food that we did not finish. Mm-hmm. And then we went to Sip and Play in Brooklyn, which is a board game
cafe. Yeah. And of course, you could probably guess the game that we played. Risk. But the board game kind, where it takes a little bit longer to...
And this one was like more so like European expansion, Western expansion kind, because they were on horseback and had cannons and stuff. It wasn't like the regular Risk, where they have like planes and all that. So I enjoyed it. I mean, I love playing Risk on the computer, and playing Risk in person, like on a board, is even better. And it's a nice long game where you can you really have to have a strategy.
Yeah, you really have to figure that out.
Even with this 2 people, which makes it even, I think 2 people is even harder sometimes than when you have a bunch of people, because you really have to be conscientious of where you're putting your neutral pieces.
And the turns go a little bit quicker when it's just 2 people. The fewer people, the quicker the game is.
Yeah.
And even though the game was quicker, we still didn't finish it. And
we were playing for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Basically, we played for maybe 2 hours, 45 minutes, because we started packing up around 11:30.
Yeah. Mari saw on our Instagram story, and she messaged me. She was like, how could you play Risk at a bar and finish the game? And I was like, well, to let you know, we didn't finish the game at all. We weren't even close.
It probably would take it would be a 6-hour.
Yeah, I would say a 6-hour campaign.
But honestly, I wouldn't mind billing at a place like that where they have snacks, they have food, drinks, or whatever, both regular alcoholic drinks, non-alcoholic drinks. They sell food up into a certain hour of the day. Mm-hmm. So you could really go there, hang out, and have a fun time. And they also have lots of other games to play. So I really liked it. I would love to go back there.
Yeah, maybe we could make a day out of it where we invite 2 or 3 people to play an all-day game of Risk. Mhm. Yeah, and I was gonna say we could buy Risk and do it here, but I don't think we have the space for it.
Well, either way, I look forward to going to Sip and Play again. And Momor Ramen, because the ramen was really good.
The ramen was really good.
And the dumplings were really good, too.
Yeah, and the shout out to Momor Ramen, and shout out to Sip and Play.
Only a half shout out to Beco, because you ate our steak.
Yes. You get... That's all you get.
All right, so do you want to get into the pop culture shenanigans?
I think we should.
All right.
When you want a hot meal without a big deal, what are you gonna pick?
Pop topics.
All right, so there's been a bunch of stuff that's happened throughout that we haven't recorded in like
In a month.
a month, which is a really long time. So we're not going to talk about all the stuff that's happened. But there have been some highlights, whether good or bad highlights, that we wanted to talk about. And the first one goes to Onayja. So Onayja's 33 from New York, either Brooklyn or the Bronx. I can't remember which one they said. And she allegedly met this man online, 19-year-old Nidal Ahmed Mermon, and they fell in love. However, Onayja was catfishing him because she was posing as a blonde, white woman. So she travels all the way to Pakistan, and when she gets there, she stayed with him for I think it was like 3 months or so, but then
So that, pardon me, like we're missing chunks of the story.
we are.
Because what is going on once he realizes that she looks nothing like
Well,
the photos that she has been parading herself
According-
as, and then how does she maneuver it into staying with him for 3 months?
according to the Mirror, which is a UK news site, said that Onayja left her 4 kids in October, flew to Karachi, and met to meet her alleged husband. When she got to Nidal's house, Nidal was willing to overlook her drastic change in appearance. However, his parents disapproved of the relationship, and so he stayed with her. She stayed with him for some time.
How old are these people?
She's 33. He's 19. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so the Mirror says that apparently she took to camping outside his apartment complex, and the surrounding community noticed her, and it was causing issues, and eventually the national media started taking notice. Now this is a clip. This is one of the first clips that I'd ever seen of Onayja.
To reconstruct this whole country, okay? I'm asking for 100K or more. I need 20K by this week, okay? In my pockets, in cash, okay? That's a demand to the government. The government is gonna fix up these buildings, fix up the streets, and clean up these streets. It's ridiculous out here. I do not like it, okay? I would love for you guys to please understand. I came here to visit today, to fix up this place, to reconstruct this place. Okay, from Mr. Chipper.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a good day.
But
Listen, he talked too much. That's it.
yes, that's it. Yes, I'm saying. ये भी देखिए यही मेरी बात की तारीफ नहीं है.
Listen,
हाँ.
you talk too much.
Okay.
We don't know what you're saying.
अच्छा, अब ये सारी चीजें हम जो आप अभी देख रहे हैं, ये हम रात से मतलब है कि स्पेयर कर रहे हैं.
You talk too much. You never shut up. I said you talk too much. Girl, you never shut up.
And so there was has been this whole internet debacle. Everybody has been thinking about this. We were in an Uber coming back. I forgot who was it. Super Bowl maybe.
No, it was the week before.
Well, we were coming back from somewhere, and I was telling him about it. And our driver, who is he's not Pakistani, I believe he said he was Indian, and he was like, I keep hearing about this, like everyone's talking about it, what's going on? And so I was like recapping the whole thing to both of them, and it was just like everyone was so enthralled by this. And then I saw this clip today that apparently some Pakistanis are taking this newfound not fame for the country, but like spotlight on the country. In also like a positive way, because people were talking about how well she was treated. She was there for a long time.
Yeah.
And that was not the first news clip. She was on a lot of news there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They were always being polite to her, always being respectful and everything. So people were just like, wow, look at how this woman is being treated in this other country. Meanwhile, the 47 and his cronies, you can't even be polite to people in this country. But apparently they are using her likeness for some advertisements.
What's wrong with Pakistanis? I swear they're looking for a marketing opportunity wherever they can get it. So this bucket of crisps has just been launched in Pakistan, Onayja Crisp. They've given her a Rastafarian hijab, big gold earrings. They redesigned her eyebrows. But I've got to say, the look is fierce, and I love the RBG, red, gold, and green. Yes, revolutionary. I don't know what it is about Pakistanis. I really actually don't understand. Any excuse to get out there and be like, hustle, hustle, hustle. There's one thing you will learn about the Pakistani community. When it comes to business and a business opportunity, they do not mess around. So it's Chris today. What the hell is it going to be tomorrow? If anyone sees anything else, I beg you, let me know. I know somebody, please find a way to send me these crisps. I swear to God, I will be forever, ever grateful. They're the best. I want some Onayja crisps.
They put her on a bag of chips.
Yep. American papar. I want some. I want to try it.
I actually want to try some, yeah.
I'm sure it's delicious.
Maybe with some Onayja dip.
You can't.
What would her dip be? Like what type of
It
dip
would need
do
to
you
be
think?
spicy and unhinged.
Yes, some spicy unhinged dip. So what? Something
Maybe like
with jalapeno.
Like a spicy curry. A spicy curry chip.
Curry,
dip.
yeah. Sorry, I was for some reason thinking of Americanized dip.
You
It would
could get you Americanize like a ranch. Oh, they could do a curry ranch.
A curry. You think curry ranch?
I think a curry ranch could be possibly delicious.
I feel like the textures would.
No, you put the spices of the curry, not gravy.
Wouldn't
curry.
mesh well.
You put the spices of the curry in the ranch.
Okay.
You wouldn't be mixing curry gravy.
That's what.
Ranch.
When you said curry, like that's what I'm thinking. Like
Curry
you didn't say
powder.
curry spices.
What other type of curry is there? There's lots of
The gravy. The curry gravy.
But how do you get curry gravy? The spices.
Okay.
I want a curry spiced ranch.
Put my hands
dip.
up in the air.
And I'm very curious. I would like to try it. I feel it's going to be delicious. Next up, do you want to talk about the Super Bowl?
Yes. Let's talk about the Super Bowl.
All right. So this Super Bowl, if you don't remember, was the halftime show against the Washington Chiefs and against the Philadelphia Eagles. Go Birds, fly birds fly, fly Eagles fly, whatever they say. And Kendrick
Fly, Eagles fly.
Kendrick was the halftime performer. This is a picture of him and his dancers who were all dressed in red, white, and blue, which was really dope. And one of the things I loved is that he had the iconic Samuel L. Jackson as his announcer, and somebody actually took a few of the
his cameos.
Yeah, they took a few of his cameos and put.
He was Uncle Sam. Get it?
Yes, Uncle Sam.
It's your Uncle Sam, and this is the great American game. Too reckless, too ghetto. Mr. Lamar, do you really know how to play the game? Then tighten up. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what America wants. Nice, calm. You almost almost there. Don't mess this.
And of course, at the very end there, you could see Serena Williams crip walking.
People were outraged. Stephen A. Smith almost had a freaking conniption.
Yeah.
All these men were outraged that Serena Williams would have been on the Super Bowl stage crip walking because Drake was her ex, and calling for Alexis Ohanian to divorce his wife and mother of his children because she was at the Super Bowl with Kendrick dancing, because they were trying to say, oh, this is being petty to her ex. Who the fuck cares?
Not to mention that her ex being Drake of all people,
And he
like
started with her first.
all he ever is petty. Like he did like he took some sort of a jab at her husband.
He at one point,
and her husband is the dude who made Reddit, and like he's just a dude, like, you know. Well, I mean, he's a wealthy ass dude, but
he took jabs at Serena and her husband,
he beefed
and
with
Rihanna
Common.
and her husband about like him being their exes. It was all very weird. He also, so I thought it was
Is it weird or is it petty?
Well, both petty and weird.
Yeah,
and I think that, like, yes, part of it could have been Drake and her being exes. But I also think it's a callback to remember when Serena was, I think it was in like 2003, 2004, she had crip walked after winning a game, and everyone was in such an uproar about it.
Yeah, they were trying to find her and end her career.
End her career,
yeah.
And now she's on the biggest stage doing it again. Why the hell not?
Yeah, look, man, like, she's from Compton, right? So, like, it's if anything,
she's a Cali girl.
She's a Cali girl. It's a celebration of the. It's a celebration of the region. It's a celebration of the area. It's a true Cali Super Bowl.
Yes.
Even I would say even more so than the one from a few years ago where it was Dr. Dre and Snoop and 50 Cent and Eminem doing that weird kneeling thing, like 4 years too late.
Yeah.
Kneeling.
Well, we see how Snoop has evolved since then, so not a big surprise.
Well, Snoop didn't kneel.
There we go. And so,
what did you think about the actual game?
The game was great because the Eagles won.
Yeah, I thought the game was kind of boring.
Doing nothing. Wait, but did you see I saw the Eagles fans.
Mm-hmm.
They roasted a pig and they put like a little curly fro on it, and we're calling it. They carved the 15 into it, and we're like, that's him. And I was kind of like, there's a lot of these white Eagle players looking at pretending this carved up roasted pig is this.
Is who? Pat Mahomes?
Yeah, that was a little weird.
I didn't see that.
I saw some pictures of that from one of the celebrations, and I didn't know how to feel about it.
That's a weird one.
I mean, Mahomes and his wife may be super MAGA supporters, but I don't know. It was weird.
They are?
Well, at least his wife is.
She is?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll show you. There's a video that I have that connects to that. But SZA, she came performed with him.
And
she
SZA
looked
gorgeous.
gorgeous.
Amazing. She looked so gorgeous. And they were trying to say that she was lip syncing, but no, she was actually singing.
But even if she was lip syncing, who cares? It's the fucking Super Bowl. Most of people on there, most of the times you have those people lip syncing.
Rather
Except
lip
for, like,
syncing
Beyonce.
than that one year when Alicia. Remember that one year when Alicia Keys definitely wasn't lip syncing that year.
Redo. It was terrible.
They cleaned it up in post production because you cannot find that original cut anywhere.
Because it was exactly what it was.
People, I don't want nothing at all. It's not even that. I think it was Empire State of Mind, right?
Whichever one. It was terrible.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. I just remember being bad. This part is my favorite. Obviously, he did not like us, which was iconic.
Yes.
But when he looked into the camera and said, "Hey Drake,"
Hey Drake,
with this face and in these freaking bell bottoms,
yes,
chef's kiss, and somebody, because people have been having.
How did you? Let me ask you this: how did you feel about the actual, like, not the performance, but the set list?
I love the set list.
Yeah, because it was mostly GNX.
It was mostly GNX, but I think I was talking to you about this the other day because there's a guy that we went to college with who I saw on his timeline. He had talked about how he thought that the performance wasn't captivating, and he had gotten some backlash from that. So then he posted another second post about Kendrick fans are becoming like Kanye fans. And that he feels like they're very, like, pompous and just trying to argue with you and da-da-da-da, and you can't, like, voice an opinion and not get beaten up by them. But I mean, I haven't seen those sort of reactions.
No, it's been mostly with Drake fans that have been.
But I
like
think that to me, I saw the critique that Kendrick should have done. They basically wanted Kendrick to do the pop out at the Super
basically,
Bowl.
like, they wanted him to do the hits.
But I think that when you were watching the
King
Rory
Kunta
and Mal podcast, they were talking about, like, well, at least, what's her name?
Damaris?
Damaris was talking about how it would have been weird if he did the same set that he just did at the pop-out.
Yeah.
Which I do agree with.
I agree with that.
We just saw him do this whole big, amazing set, so why would we want to watch it all again? But my thing is, Kendrick, like Beyonce, doesn't need to give you a whole bunch of, like, his older songs because his newest album is all hits. It's hit after hit after hit. It's nothing. It's a no skip album. And when you are someone who creates a no skip album, you can pull mainly songs from that most recent one and put it out. In comparison to some other Super Bowl performances that we've had, even if these people are amazing and I love them and I love the performance, they had to do only their hits because they don't necessarily have full albums that are recent that you could take from that whole album and that's it. So to me, doing just GNX was fine. But
and this, I would say that this performance solidified to me that Lil Wayne shouldn't have gotten the Super Bowl at all. Because, like, Kendrick, it's not even the set list, but, like, the breath control that Kendrick exhibited, running around and rapping, rapping and doing the dances and everything like that.
It was a lot.
And his raps aren't, like, simple.
Exactly.
They're very intricate. There's a lot. Yeah. They're very wordy. So the breath control, I salute him on that. For sure.
I saw this response and I thought it's basically summed up how I felt.
You ate that.
Yes, he definitely did.
He ate that.
And also, like you said, like his most recent album, GNX, is a no skip album. Like, I would assume he's probably getting more because his new album is under his PG Lang imprint, and not and doing the hits from the time when he was with TDE would garner him, like, because everybody knows that when you do the Super Bowl, all of your listens go up on like Spotify and Apple Music and everything like that. It's up like hundreds and hundreds of percentages, and it makes sense that he would want the listenership for his most recent album to go up.
Exactly.
Because that's where he's making most of his money.
Some people were saying, like, oh, why would you only do these songs that are new? Because a lot of people didn't know who he was. But this is the perfect opportunity for those people to find out. And even, I don't care if white people didn't get the performance. I don't care if black people didn't get the performance. It was a great performance.
It really was a great performance. It broke a record.
Yeah, it did. It was the
highest viewed Super Bowl halftime performance of all time.
Now, there was one part of the performance that I found out about after that was not seen, where one of his dancers did a protest, and ended up getting banned for life. Let me get this video up for you.
I'm not really. So, for the listeners who can't see, he's holding up a Palestinian flag, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, flag of Palestine. Yeah, and he's running on the field with it, running back and forth. Yeah, like I'm surprised that. Oh yeah, their security. Yeah, taking him away. Oof, they tackled the fuck out of him. Yeah.
It's still. Are we? This part's only on the audio. So, the performer, I'm trying to find his name, but he had been performing with Kendrick and the other dancers. And so the league put out a statement that said no one involved with the production was aware of the individual's intent. The individual will be banned for life from all NFL stadiums and events.
If you were a famous person and you get banned from something, that's understandable. If you're just like a random dude and you get banned from something, how the hell can they uphold that?
I mean, I guess they put his picture up.
They just put his picture up at will call
and say you can't come.
And say you can't come in here?
Yep. Don't come. You can't do it. You're not allowed.
But yeah.
I mean, but the thing about it is this man protesting what is happening in Gaza, which is continuing to happen, and Trump has already said they are trying to make sure that we can have Israel hand us over Gaza so that we can, build it up or whatever. Sudan, there has been a genocide going on it might be as long as Palestine has been having this current genocide happening. They've been coinciding. People have been talking about it forever, whether it's Sudan, Palestine, Congo, everywhere in the world where people have been dying unnecessarily. Folks have been talking about it, but also most Americans have not really been talking about it because it's not being put on like the spaces and places where these people are, where the everyday folks who are not necessarily paying attention to the news are going to see these things. So it's important. So his name was Zul Karnjan Natambu. Let me see if I can get a picture up of him. But when I saw a article that he talked about basically saying like he could not have been on this big stage and allowed himself not to use his platform to what he said he felt he had to highlight the human suffering. And so, he's not a young kid. He's 41 years old. Ew. So he 100% understands and knows what he did, why he did it. And he said that I hope God shifts Trump's heart to be empathetic and compassionate to those who are suffering in Palestine and do what is right by the Palestinians. And if he can, help the Sudanese, which I'm sure he can. And I know it would invigorate their strength, seeing somebody supporting them and thinking it. He said that his protest was inspired by his Islamic faith and for his love of the Palestinian and Sudanese people who are suffering, saying that, and I know it would invigorate their faith, seeing somebody supporting them and thinking about them on such a grand stage to bring awareness to that. Of course, Rock Nation, who produces the show, said they had not planned any of that, and that the individual acted on their own. They always want to call someone the individual. Like, this individual acted on their own. But it's like, why not? And Netanyahu said he had the people Kendrick had the people formulate the American flag. He had 2 big black flags with his record label, and he talked about the revolution being televised, and he talked about consciousness. So that is what inspired him to just say, you know what, fuck it, let's get active. Why not?
Sure.
And someone who was at the Super Bowl who definitely needed to see the lesson was Trump, who was getting booed probably just as bad as Taylor Swift.
Who do you think got booed more?
I don't know, both of them, but I think Trump got booed worse, as you can see in this clip.
I knew it! Thank you, guys! You're a fucking traitor! 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 You're a traitor! 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 You're a fucking traitor! Traitor! You're a traitor! You're a traitor! Fuck you!
This makes me realize that, like, I don't have the capacity to yell like that at a sporting event.
I was watching.
It was a guttural yell.
I was like, I know that this man's white face was turning beet red.
Yeah.
The way that he was screaming.
Screaming, you're a fucking traitor.
Which, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, so that's not, wrong. So.
So with that being said, who do you think they're gonna get next year to do the Super Bowl halftime show? Probably someone white. Probably. Well, we've had a nice string of black and black doing it.
So either somebody white, somebody spicy white.
I think they should get. You know who I think they should get if they go the white route?
Who?
Oh my goodness, Elton John.
Do you think Elton John would do the American Super Bowl?
Why not? We've had Canadians do the American Super Bowl. We've had, like, English people do the American Super Bowl. Look at Bruno Mars. He did it twice.
Bruno Mars is from Hawaii.
Oh, okay. I always think that he's something else. I always think that he's something else. But, so he is Hawaiian?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, Hawaii should be its own country because it was stolen. But did you know on February 14th, Hawaiians... Hold on. Let me find this Hawaiian fact from February 14th because they killed this white man, James Cook. Is that it? Yes.
James
Cook. On February 14th, 1779, Captain James Cook of the British Royal Navy set up a blockade at Kalakaua Bay after the theft of one of his boats. To prove his point, he tries to take hostage the High Chief, Kalanopua, and so the chief was shot by one of the Cook's men, and so when people found out that the chief had been shot and killed, folks got active and killed Cook. So Hawaiian Public Radio wrote that this was a symbolic moment for Native Hawaiians because Cook's arrival brought with it infectious diseases that devastated the Native Hawaiian population. And looking at this picture, my God, he was horrible.
He looks like Polio. Polio the picture.
Oh my God! Could you imagine? Let me see if I can. I'm going to download
Polio the picture,
so I can add it to the page.
Maybe that'll be the title.
I want you all to see this ugly man who was taking
the picture.
over
I just sent it to you.
the picture.
No, not the picture. The polio, the picture.
Oh, okay. How do I do the thing where I just want to save the image?
Mm-hmm. Well, while you're figuring that out, I personally felt like this was a top tier, maybe like easily top 5 Super Bowl performances of all time. I don't think anything is going to top Purple Rain.
Oh, of course not.
But like it's easily top 5 and it's not 5. You know what I mean? Like it's probably 3 or 4.
I would say so. Did Michael Jackson do the Super Bowl ever?
I believe he did, right?
I would say it'd probably Michael Jackson, Prince, Beyonce, and
Then Kendrick, right?
Kendrick.
Yeah.
Maybe did Whitney Houston do the Super
No,
Bowl
she did the
over
national anthem.
Okay.
I think she did the national.
But we're still putting her on that because that was amazing. But this is a picture of James E. Cook.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. He looks like you know how like in the Midwest they'll see faces in bread. That's this face. This face is what you would see in like a piece of bread.
Yes,
a piece of toast.
They would toast it, and they would be calling everybody to say, "Look, come, Prudence."
Yes, because everyone in the Midwest knows a Prudence.
They might.
Prudence. Oh man.
Well. So speaking of Trump, have you heard about this alleged coup d'etat that Elon is allegedly doing?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it, but go ahead, continue.
All right. Well, folks are saying that Elon, who is over the government efficiency department, has amassed a lot of power because the Doge has penetrated the massive system responsible for virtually all government payments, breached sensitive databases and private medical records, circumvented routine conflict of interest and transparency requirements, dismantled the United States Agency for International Development, and gained access to the computer systems of a number of federal agencies, which I saw that, what's her name? We're claiming my time. What's her name? Congresswoman Waters.
Maxine
Waters. She and some other Congress folks that tried to get into a building the other day. They wouldn't let them in. There were armed guards that wouldn't let them in. Da-da-da-da. So folks have been rightfully upset. Also on top of the fact that all these government officials or people working in the government have been getting fired recently without really just cause, or being told like if you leave your position you're gonna get the severance. Da, 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 da. And so there have been several videos coming out where folks are upset. All right, so this was a funny, I don't know if it's funny or alarming, but you could be the judge. So Elon was doing a press conference in the Oval Office, which was weird, with his son X, who he has with Grimes. He also randomly has a new baby that he has.
He has a new baby.
I forget the name of the woman, but apparently she's married and her husband, this is alleged.
Doesn't he have 13 kids? This is now the 13th kid
but apparently,
with 4 people?
Something I saw online today, which I could not verify yet, I just saw it, but someone was saying she's married and allegedly her husband is allowing her to have this baby with Elon, which is like not weird. Polyamory, open relationships happen all the time.
Yeah.
But I think it's like, it makes me think of like one of those like medieval Renaissance like guys who has all this money and is just like taking random women from the town and being like, all right, impregnate me. And their husbands are like, I guess we're going to get a lot of money, but who knows if that's true.
Yeah.
But this is what happened at the, when Elon was at the White House that has had people in uproar.
In a moment, but first, Elon Musk yesterday, along with his son Little X, held a press conference in the Oval Office to discuss what Doge is doing, all while Donald Trump watched on silently from his cuck chair. And in the aftermath, one of Elon's fanboys shared this tweet that Elon reposted. It says, "History repeats itself," and it shows two images. The first image is a pretty iconic image of JFK Jr. playing underneath his dad's desk while he worked in the Oval Office. And the second is little X seemingly bored out of his mind, crawling around on the floor while Donald Trump pontificates about what he liked watching from said cuck chair. But I can point out at least one glaring difference between these two situations. JFK Jr., as I recall, never had criticisms of his father while the press was there. Little X, on the other hand, has a lot to say, and there was a hot mic that caught some of it. So first is this little gem.
To restore democracy. This may seem like, well,
you heard that too, right? You're not the president, you need to go away. I'll play the clip a second time. Just, you watch and tell me if that's what he said.
To restore democracy. This may seem like...
That's what he said, but I'll go one better. Because he also said this.
The prices for 1 years the nets are the same, and their mortgage global.
That one's clear today. He says, "I want you to shut your fucking mouth up." And there's already people who are like, out of the mouth of babes, but let me just put this out there for your consideration. A child this young doesn't have this profound moment where he tells off Trump. He just repeats things he's heard. So if he says you're not really the president, chances are someone has said that around him, and he's repeating it. When he says, "I want you to shut your fucking mouth up," he's either heard someone say that to someone else, or someone has said that to him, and he's repeating it. Either scenario is pretty disturbing. But perhaps the question we should be asking is the same one that Shea Jordan Smith asked on Twitter, which is, why the fuck is Elon Musk doing press briefings in the White House from the Oval Office? He is not an elected official. Why is he holding court in the Oval Office? Nothing about this is normal or good. I wasn't even going to post on this, and then I saw...
What would you have us do?
I would actually, you know what? I'd just like you to show that you give a damn. That you got a little emotion about the fact that people are losing their jobs indiscriminately. That this individual sitting at down 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue has given absolute power to one man who brings his son into the Oval Office, whose son says to him, "You're not the president. You shouldn't be in that chair." Now, where did he get that from? He got it from his daddy, because that's what his daddy thinks is the man who brought him into the Oval Office. So I just like to see somebody wake the hell up and get excited about the fact that your country is under assault. They're not at the gate anymore. They're in your bedrooms. They're in your living rooms. They're in your businesses. They got your data, dumbass. They got all your stuff. Elon Musk has the tentacles in everything you're doing, not just off of X, but now he's in the Treasury Department. He's in the Labor Department. He's in the Department of Homeland Security. And nobody seems to give a damn. So that's all I want, somebody to show that they care enough to get off their fat ass and say something about it.
Well, let's not do
So that was former RNC chair Michael Steele. Who was, of course, referencing the video of Elon's son. Now, watching the video, I tried to find several clips of the video that might be more enhanced so I could hear what the little boy was saying. And there are some parts where you could see, you could trying to read his mouth. And it's it's very possible in both of these he could be saying what they think he's saying. The overall thing is still weird. But I feel like it's such we are living in we are either in the start of a dystopian novel, where or TV show, where everyone's like, whatever, this is weird, but nothing's really crazy is going to happen. And then nothing crazy actually happens, or you're at the start of it and everyone's saying, oh, maybe some folks are being weird and being too dramatic. And then next thing you know, in a year, we're actually... maybe we should have listened to them. But I don't know. I feel like I feel like we're in such a horrendous spot that I don't even know what to say besides just find the people that are doing the work, support them, and kind of go along with whatever they're saying you should do to make sure you're good and your family's good.
We let a dude come into power where his, I guess, brand is also the name of like a fucking dog coin that we had fucking made memes out of.
Yes.
Doge.
It's a meme presence.
Like it's a meme. Like this is the reality that we deserve because this country is really stupid.
Yeah.
And we've been stupid for a really long time, so we might as well just be stupid in terror.
I mean, so my 7th and 8th graders, I have been teaching them about the 7th grade. We've been learning about like the Middle Passage, the exploration of the Americas. And in 8th grade, we're learning about now the Civil War. 7th grade is learning about the American Revolution. 8th grade is then going into Civil War, cause of the Civil War, and then Reconstruction. And I have been trying to remind them while we're learning about these things that like all of the things that were put in place during these times are connected to what we're dealing with right now and why things feel like they're up Schitt's Creek. Obviously not telling them like that, but just trying to get them to be as using their critical thinking to be able to understand what's going on, why things are happening, and what things have been set in motion. Because we are in the find out phase of all the fucking around that has been going on for several hundred years.
Yeah, we've been fucking around, and pretty soon, we're going to find out. Now,
not pretty soon, now.
Well, yeah, we are finding out.
We are finding out now.
Yeah, we are finding out.
And listen, we are on cursed land where the blood of our indigenous and African ancestors have seeped into the ground, and there's nothing that America can do to possibly make up for its crimes against humanity and the world and the planet. So if the comeuppance needs to be that we are just having to deal with this sort of shenanigans, here we are. Like, go read Octavia Butler's Parable of the Sower. Not to scare yourself, but I feel like the main points that I took away from Parable of the Sower are like, one, if you are dealing with a government that is crazy and shitty and is clearly not trying to take care of you, what you need to do is take care of yourself and your community.
Yes.
Find coalitions. Build coalitions. Know what you're good at, what your strengths and weaknesses are. Find out the things that you need, and everyone just try to prepare. Like, to do your best to prepare, but you don't have to be scared necessarily. Like, things are going to come or they're going to go. When you look back at history, there have always been times where people have thought, like, this is it. It's not going to get any better. It's going to be horrible. Sometimes they were right, sometimes they were wrong. And sometimes things just stayed the same. But the main thing is, if we are worried about what's happening with healthcare, what's happening with the treasury, what's happening with jobs and schools, etc., what we can do to fortify ourselves is just try to get as healthy as possible, as informed as possible, learn how to be self-sustaining, and just go from there. I mean, there's really nothing much that you can do outside of that because you're not an elected official. And if you're trying to wait for someone like, Hakeem Jeffries, who's basically been saying, like, I don't know what y'all wanted to do, like, do something. I don't know. Do something. Somebody figure it out. Because we see in other parts of the world, people figure it out. When South Korea's president said they were having martial law, it took them about a day, barely even a day, for them to get active. And I feel like we need to have that spirit in us. Like, I've said this probably on the podcast before, and I know I've said this to you, like, in real life. I am 100% sure that they have purposely dumb down the American population.
Yeah.
Because the American Revolution was spurred on by people, many of whom could not read. Or could not, they didn't have like money, they didn't have status, they didn't have anything. But they, at the end of the day, they knew what their rights were. They joined together, whether they were meeting in taverns, in someone's house, in the fucking park, wherever the case may be. They talked about things, they figured it out, and they understood at the bare minimum civics. But we don't really have that. Most people do not understand civics. They don't understand what their local laws are. They don't know how to deal with, politicians or what politicians do and voting, etc. So now here we are with populations of people who are extremely unprepared and scared, and they're just trying to figure it out. And that's the part where it's like, you have to take it upon yourself to do better and find credible sources to show you where you need to be. And there are plenty of them. There are plenty of activist organizations who are there to help you get the information you need. You want to start a freaking at-home garden? Somebody for that. Do you want to learn how to, clean water and to be self-sustaining, live off the grid, whatever the case may be? There are people for you. Go find them. Find the people, build the coalition, and you will be able to help yourself out and move forward in a way that makes sense. Are you ready to move into, one, did you have anything else that you wanted to say or add? Or
No, just find the helpers. Like, I think that's
Mr.
Rogers said it best. Find the helpers. Find those people who are actively activated and doing stuff, and see what you can do. Like,
we can all do something. We're not helpless.
Yeah. We're not helpless, we're not hopeless.
I think that's the thing, is a lot of people start to feel helpless, hopeless when shenanigans happen, but like, we're not. Even in the midst of the most terrible times in history, whether it was the transatlantic slave trade, whether it was slavery, whether it was the Holocaust, like internment camps, whatever terrible thing you could think of, people have still survived and made it through. You are here. If you are not a white person or a wealthy white person, Anglo-Saxon, if you are someone whose family survived famine and genocide and war.
And the Dust Bowl.
Like, you have survived. Your
and
genes
the Great Depression.
have survived. We will survive. We just have to keep going and not allow, folks to make us feel like we can't do anything.
Yes, first you were afraid. You were petrified.
You were wondering, how can I live during these scary times?
Oh, that's good. That's good. But no, we will survive. We'll survive and thrive.
Yes.
We will survive.
Surviving and thriving.
Surviving and thriving. And maybe that will be the title. Let me write that down. We have 3 contenders.
So, do you want to do our what's making us angry and what's making us happy?
Sure. We'll make this quick. You want to do both?
Yeah.
Okay then.
Bring it. What? We gripe it. We're not griping anywhere else. We gripe it. This safe space for us to share. We gripe it. We ain't griping anywhere else. We gripe it.
So, what's making you angry?
Workplace harassment in all of its forms. And I'll just keep it that way. There are a lot of ways that you can harass niggas at work. And for those of y'all who are doing it, y'all are wrong, and y'all need to recognize, and your time is coming.
Here, chin chin. I would like to agree to
Chin.
I agree to that, and
like
also
chim.
Don't people say like chin chin when they're? That used to be a thing. It was an old timey thing.
Is
chin
it?
Chin. Yeah, they did.
Chin.
We're gonna Google it, but yes, I agree, and I would like to add on to that because I too have.
Oh, it's a Nigerian.
No, calm down. Get out of my computer. Chin chin is a snack, which is delicious, and it's a Nigerian thing. But chin chin as a form of cheers, people used to say, "Oh, it's an Italian cheers, chin chin." Okay, it's a toast. Anyway, so I too have faced some workplace harassment or workplace gossip, whatever your case may be, which is weird and also funny. But like, can you all get something else to do? Find something else to do. You don't got time to do anything else. We got long days at work. You should have more things going on for you than talking about other people. Or doing, or like trying to create weirdness for other people at work. Like, get a hobby.
Read a book.
Read a book. Do some work.
Or watch a TV show.
Do some work, actually. Because you spending time over here talking about anybody else, you're not doing your job.
Yeah.
So.
Do your job.
All right. Now, what about what makes us happy?
I'm the baby merchant. Tots are us. I give you all the service and no damn fuss. Give the baby merchant just a week or two. I'll have your baby for you.
So, what's making you happy?
All right, so I have two videos that I want to share that were both making me happy that I saw today. But the first things that are making me happy are you. Not just doing this podcast with me, but you in general.
Thank you.
But also doing this podcast with you.
Mm-hmm.
What's also been making me happy is I've been getting a lot of good feedback at work. I've been really enjoying working with the kids and getting to know them and being able to help out as much as I can. And seeing, things pay off from that. And yeah, so here are the two videos that I have. And these are, I saw them today. I thought they were really cute, but they're also inspired from Valentine's Day. So this first video is about a family from Alabama. It's a news broadcast from the 1980s of a family in Alabama of the Hardy family with 22 children.
To Lineville, Alabama, where there is a such thing as the perfect family. In the small town in Clay County, population 2,257. 22 of that total belongs to Samuel and Betty Jo Hardy. Careful when driving by, like the sign says. Slow, children play, at least 18. 15 girls and 7 boys. No twins. All healthy, all happy. You have to see it to believe it. The trouble is, not many people do.
I be trying to explain, but don't nobody believe. They say they believe it, but they just want to come, see for themselves. So they come, they still don't believe, so I heard.
That's Mother Hardy, who at 41 and with so much energy and love for her kids, has had a child about every 11 months, ever since she was 15.
Went on to 20. I said, well, I know I'm through now. Went on to 21. I said, well, I know I'm through now. Went on to 22. I said, no more.
After 22, you said no.
No more, no more. No more.
15 more for the next?
I don't reckon it will.
All in all, there are 25 mouths to feed. Food stamps, which is the only government assistance the family receives, help buy about $150 worth of groceries a week. As for clothes, Mother Hardy washes 3 to 4 loads a day, and there's enough for everyone. Her kids chip in to help manage the 8-room house, including 4 bedrooms, which sleeps about 4 to a bed.
You all are not a wealthy family by any means. You know we ain't got nothing but love. That's all we got is love.
It is an understatement to say that there's never a dull moment here at the Hardy camp. But for Samuel and Betty Jo Hardy and all of their 22 kids with 18 living at home, They wouldn't have it any other way. Kim Davis, WSFA TV News in Lineville.
Can you explain that last one though?
So the last one was I think it was a family reunion, because people, when I saw the video and I was looking for them, and people were like, asking about updates, etc. And so one of the family members who's on TikTok, they had posted that was a while back, and they were just showing a recent video of the Hardy family now, and apparently all 22 of the kids are still alive. The parents, unfortunately, have passed away. I think they said that after that, the news clip, I think the mom passed away maybe 8 years after, and then the father, it was maybe like 10 or 11 years after, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So the parents passed away actually pretty young, but their children have gone on to be, happy, successful, have family of their own. They have these large family gatherings, and the man who was singing...
I feel like any family gathering with them is a large family gathering.
The man who was singing in the video with the mic, he's apparently the youngest boy, and they were saying he has such a great personality, and he's very loving and talented, etc. But I just thought that was beautiful to see. I mean, at that time, you think of the 80s having that many kids in one house and taking care of them all and still being able to have, a happy family. I think that is beautiful, because I feel like now, we think of like having a family, and having what it means to be like happy is about like the money you have for them, when in reality it's like, yeah, money helps, of course, but like, is the family together? Are they working together? Are they everyone is there pulling their own weight, helping each other out, loving on everybody? That's the biggest thing, versus just, the ideas that we have that are super capitalistic in nature. Because this family, like, they're all those kids are happy, they're healthy, they have their own families, and they're still loving up on each other. So I thought that was very beautiful.
Okay, that's nice.
So what's making you happy this week?
Doing this podcast. It's been some time since we've done this podcast, so I enjoy doing this podcast with you. You, as an individual, as a human being, I especially appreciated that you went all out for Valentine's Day. Yeah, it was a lot of very nice gestures that I greatly appreciated and can satiate myself with, those Mike and Ikes. But also, it was good seeing Keith for his birthday. Mm-hmm. Good hanging out with him. That was good. It was good being in a gathering for Super Bowl. Like, I was afraid that we were going to have to just watch it by ourselves, which would have been fine.
Shout out to Nydia Nade and El Bebe.
El Baby, yeah. And, that's pretty much it for me as far as things that made me happy.
All
right. Well, if that's everything, that's everything. So we will be back hopefully next week or next time. Until then, take it easy, keep it sleazy, and we will see you on the flip-flop. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorish is Legit. That's Licorish is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's thatsod_THATSOD.E. And on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Sturdy podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.